I was just talking to a friend on the way over here as I was driving frantically, trying to get here on time. And we were talking about songwriting, and I was like, well, I have a song, but I don't hear what it's supposed to sound like. I just have words. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about, that process, like, does it just come into your head, like you hear the melody, you hear the words? And I'm just curious if either one of you want to speak to that.
We're
how that's
opposite on
happened
this
for you.
too.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I will get a download of a tune and lyrics, and I have to sit down and just write it down, and it still requires some work, but there's a real great foundation to that song. Other times I'll get a lyric and I'll go into the piano and start playing around with some chords. Is that cool? I'm not really sure. This melody could go like this, so it varies for me personally. Either I have to work on it or I get a download. And sometimes lyrics will come first. Sometimes I'll get a cool little riff in my head that I want to play out and work on. Mm-hmm. And so that's how it is for me.
Mine usually come from an explosion of emotion. It's true. Whether it's happy or sad, like Mom, like I will start singing what I'm thinking, and that's usually how my songs are born. Like recently, recently I was, I felt like the Lord. You ever have those moments where the Lord just hands you like this treat? You're like, oh, that's a little ice cream cone for you. Here you go, honey. Like, oh, thank you. And that happened to me a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. I want to give you something. Like I was like, I want to give you all I have to give. I'm like, ooh. Oh, I should record that. Wait a second, like, so, and then it just usually, like, I try to sing out how I'm actually feeling, and it usually, like, definitely have to work on it and that kind of thing, but it's definitely, for me, out of an emotional response, usually.
Do you carry, like, a little device around so you can...
I did. Our friends, Stefanik, they gave me a little voice recorder, and it has been the best thing.
Well, I would think for you,
yes,
you need that.
I do.
And I might need that.
Yes. You just whip it out, and you do your thoughts, you sing your thoughts, and then you can put it in your pocket and work on it later.
Even the words that you come up with. Right. Like sometimes I'll just get this thought, like in the car the other day, and I want to remember this. It doesn't matter if the conditions are right. That thought popped into my head when we were talking about something. I don't know. But maybe it got me to think about when I run, like if the conditions are right, I have a great run. But if it's too hot, I don't do so great.
Right.
But, in life, the conditions aren't always going to be right to have the perfect run. You need to learn how to handle things when the conditions aren't right. So I just thought of that little line. I thought, man, I wish I had one of those.
Yeah.
Pull out.
Yeah.
And just keep that little line. I can put that in anywhere. I mean.
Did you write it down?
No. But I just said it. Again, I filed it, but the file doesn't always stay in the right place.
That would be my problem.
So.